Not gonna lie, when I saw that the DJI Mini 3 Pro was announced, I got the same feeling you did. FOMO. Fear of missing out. It's normal and it happens every time something new comes out, whether it be a phone, a camera, a car, whatever. We all get it. And I'm gonna tell you another truth. I actually didn't buy this drone. I got it from a friend for this video just to see what the hype was about. Now, I've been using the Mavic Air 2S since launch, and I do a pretty good job of skipping updates every year. Before the 2S, I actually had the original Air. Before that, I had the Phantom 4. And before that, I had the original Phantom. Yes, the first one. And I remember going to Hobbytown, USA and getting it rigged out with a Zenmuse gimbal and a GoPro Hero 3. It had no quick modes, no obstacle avoidance, no reliable FPV, and had these whack-ass LiPo batteries that literally lasted like 3 minutes. Hell, it didn't even hover on one spot by itself. I know I went on a little tangent there real quick, but I had to give you guys my resume and let you know how good we have it nowadays. Alright, so I decided to take both my Mavic Air 2S and the Mini 3 Pro up the mountain during blue hour at about 4:30 a.m. to get some test footage and photos, and the main feature that intrigued me was the ability to switch to vertical orientation, which I'll admit is extremely useful when taking photos. Being able to frame your photo in camera instead of having to crop it in post is pretty dope. Nowadays, with everyone posting their photos and videos to Instagram, being able to switch your drone to portrait mode is actually pretty valuable. And if I had this drone long term, I can see myself taking more aerial photos than I currently do. And when comparing the photos between the two drones, I can't say that I really see a difference in sharpness or quality, which is kind of a plus to the Mini 3 Pro. The Air 2S does capture 20 megapixel photos with a 1-inch sensor, whereas the Mini 3 Pro has a 12 megapixel camera, and it also has a 48 megapixel mode that uses pixel binning to stitch together 4 12 megapixel photos together. But like I said, I couldn't really tell the difference in quality in the photos that I took. The only drawback to vertical mode is the fact that it doesn't currently work for quick modes in video. It would be pretty dope to get an orbit or an actor track in vertical orientation for social media content, but I assume that's going to come later on update. I hope it does, because that adds so much more value to this drone if it does. One huge benefit that I noticed after a few seconds of flying the Mini 3 Pro was the added range on the camera pitch radius, letting me film almost straight up. That bottom up angle is something that's pretty new for drone footage that I can see myself using. In the past, the props would always get in the way if you wanted to get that kind of shot, so it's pretty dope. Now, when comparing the Mavic Air 2S and the Mini 3 Pro, I will say that the biggest game changer for me is actually the new controller. Not having to get my phone out and attach it to the controller enabled me to get in the air quicker. Not to mention the screen resolution is nice and it's pretty quick and responsive to touch. I will say that the outdoor visibility isn't that great when in direct sunlight, so if you plan on flying this thing on a sunny day, I would find some shade so you can actually see your screen while you fly. It's not a deal breaker, especially for the price, but I would assume that this controller will be compatible with the Mavic Air 2S very soon. I mean, it only makes sense. I didn't attempt to pair it to my Air 2S because I didn't want to bind it since I had to give it back after the weekend. Having the screen built into the controller is nice, but I will say that the battery doesn't last nearly as long as I thought it would. Now, normally I don't give any thought to when's the last time I charged my controller because it lasts pretty well in between flights, but with this controller, you're going to want to make sure that you charge it after every single flight. And another observation I had while flying both the Mini 3 and the Air 2S back to back was that I had a stronger connection for GPS satellites and video transmission on my Air 2S. Now, both drones have OcuSync 3, so I can only assume that my phone, cell, and GPS radios were doing some of the heavy lifting with finding satellites and video transmission. Granted, if you're following the rules and you're keeping your drone within line of sight, this shouldn't be an issue, but you know, when you're flying your drone, it's easy to get carried away and, you know, search for the best shot. The biggest benefits of this drone are its size and lightweight package. Now there's less pressure to take it wherever you go, send it up in the air when you're on vacation, or if you just want to joyride it around the neighborhood. But given its size, it does sway a bit more hovering in place or flying in high winds. Now, I was on the top of a mountain, which isn't a normal use case for a Mini, so take that into consideration. Who is the Mini 3 Pro for? Now, I would say this drone is actually for most people. I was actually stopped while flying over the weekend by someone asking that question exactly. What drone should I get if I want to take pictures and video and just have fun and get into it? And the Mini 3 Pro is the perfect recommendation. Now, if you have no issue using your phone to fly, I would say save the money on the controller. But if you want the ultimate convenience, you can't really beat it. Now, I don't think this drone is for anyone that's planning on doing any professional or paid work. From what I've heard online, D-Log is out of the question for this drone. And although you do get 10-bit color, you aren't getting the dynamic range you get from the Air 2S with D-Log. Now for me, I plan on keeping my Mavic Air 2S because it checks all my boxes and it gives me the extra bit of quality for paid work. I will say that when this controller comes out and it's compatible with the Mavic Air 2S, I will add it to my kit. I honestly think that's the best combo, the Air 2S with the new controller. But if you don't currently have a drone and you want to get into drone flying as a hobby or even make some content on YouTube or social media, I'd say the Mini 3 Pro is your best bet. Drone tech has come a long way over the years, and DJI has been at the forefront of that innovation. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be comparing the Mini 3 Pro and the Mavic Air 2S, but hopefully this video helped you make some type of decision. Until next time, guys, it's been a pleasure. Stay fresh. Peace.